And for more on this, we're now joined by Thomas Kiklas, Chief Financial Officer of Tobacco Vapor Electronic Cigarette Association. Mr. Kiklas, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me today.
So, Mr. Kiklas, the European Union has recently rejected regulating e-cigs as medical devices, meaning they can be sold like tobacco products relatively freely, only requiring the buyer to be at least 18 years old. What do you make of this decision by the EU?
Well, that was momentum that started with us as well. Back in 2009, Ray Story, my partner, brought litigation with the FDA. That litigation ended in 2010 with the FDA or the courts agreeing that this really is and should be regulated as a tobacco product and not a drug-device combination. Ray is in Europe right now for the last 2 years and has been guiding the MPEs in the same decision to regulate as a tobacco product and not a drug-device combination. On our website, you'll see an argument that the product is not a drug-device combination at all, but should be regulated as a tobacco product with all the inherent rules and regulations already established for the technology.
But right now, the regulation in terms of the U.S. market is up in limbo. What do you think the FDA is going to rule? What do you think they should rule on this?
Well, the litigation that we brought is to have e-cigarettes regulated as tobacco products. The courts agreed with us. So the pathway for regulation at a state, local, municipal, and national level are already in place. Just follow the current guidelines that are in place with tobacco cigarettes and things are fine. No, we don't agree with that there should be advertising on radio, television, or sporting events, and absolutely no marketing to kids and a prohibition on sales to minors also. So all of these prohibitions and regulations are in place. We've been very active with local municipalities. The city of Laguna Beach out here, as a matter of fact, was looking to ban the product, and when we spoke with them, brought no action at all, but guided them into a regulation as a tobacco product for the municipality.
So if they are regulated like tobacco products, that means we're going to do away with a lot of this glamorous advertising, if you will, and the packaging. And that's been a big concern to anti-e-cig groups. They're saying that this glamorous advertising, the various flavors, the colorful packaging, that's attracting essentially non-smokers who think e-cigs may be less harmful. You're for banning this advertising.
Well, those are two separate discussions. We are in favor of the current restrictions that you have in place for tobacco cigarettes and tobacco products, where the FCC states there are no advertisements on radio, television, or sporting events. We're absolutely in favor of that. Now you get into flavors and subsequent marketing of flavors. We're not for banning any of those. Any product that, or any flavor that can help smokers transition away from tobacco cigarettes, the one product we know kills over 400,000 Americans a year, to transition to the e-cigarette, which we say is a less harmful, logical option, definitely we're in favor of, and not for banning certain aspects of the industry.
Thomas, I want to focus more on the economic impact of e-cigarettes. What is the size and scope of this industry, and what are the subsidiary industries that it's supporting?
Well, subsidiary industries, as far as the size of the market, during your piece you were correct. We started this industry with 3 other companies back in 2007, and we didn't know whether this would just be a novelty. Would smokers really embrace the technology? Didn't know. It wasn't very reliable back in 2007, 2008. The product has become increasingly reliable, where those that use nicotine can now depend on the technology. If you would have heard smokers years ago calling our customer service lines and complaining about the batteries not working, cartridges failing, we thought, man, we don't know if this technology will help people transition. When it comes to subsequent marketing, there are insurance companies, credit card companies. I can't tell you how many people in our company whose homes we have saved by providing the income to sell products. It's really one of the stories that has not been told. When you have $1 billion in revenue in this country going to the electronic cigarette, there's a lot of that revenue that's trickling down to families who are now living off the revenue, the sales of the e-cigarette, and It's very heartening for our company to have folks generating income from the product.
Thomas, with regards to the sales, what is the current tax status on cigarettes, e-cigarettes, because they're not taxed like tobacco products?
Well, tobacco products are taxed at the state level, so you have the states determining what those levels should be, but we are adamant that they should be levels as a consumer product and not at the syntax levels that some states are recommending or are lobbying for. So again, tobacco cigarettes are syntaxed at very high levels because people want people to stop smoking. So you have that syntax. Our recommendation is just as a consumer product, not at higher levels.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much, Thomas Kiklas, the Chief Financial Officer of the Tobacco Vapor Electronic Cigarette Association. Thanks for joining us.